Okay, so today's video we have got an Epiphone Century on the bench. Now this guitar, the back has come away from the sides. So what I've had to do is essentially take the neck off of the guitar and then repair the damage, then put the neck back on, adjust the angle, and then there's a few other bits and bobs that we have to do as well. So I'm going to take you through it all. It's quite a long video, but I hope you enjoy, and let's jump in. Right, so we've got this Epiphone Century on the bench. What we're going to do is we're going to start by tackling the end of the fretboard and removing it from this part here. We score along the edge of the heel, and I'll remove, I think this, the 15th fret, drill down, put my heat sticks in the dovetail, basically the back of the dovetail, which we're going to start warming up, and then see if we can get some movement in there and remove it like that. Right, so the first thing I do, I want to check current angle of the neck. The bridge currently is decked as far as it can go down. Yeah, so it's about 0.5 of a mil off of the fretboard as far as the angle goes. So on to the repair. Let's first get these strings snapped off.
Okay, so with these archtop guitars, basically in order to get the parts out, you have to go out of the pickup hole. So I'd start by taking the pickup off and then just feed everything out of that hole. You'll also notice that I'm taking out all of the frets from the neck joint, and I realised that actually I'd need to heat the fretboard up, so that's why I'm taking them out. Now I'm actually saving the frets and I'm going to put them back in, so I'm putting them in order as you'll see here.
So I've got my area protected now, and I'm now going to start heating up the fretboard area. Now I've removed the frets, and I'm going to put a very low heat on my iron. I love this iron. This is my grandma's iron that she used to do all of my dad's clothes with. Now just gets used for taking up fretboards, which I'm sure she never thought that's what this iron was going to get used for. So it's a bit of a waiting game really. Over the next sort of like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we should get this fretboard up.
You start out at the corners on the fretboard, and you just get a feel for how soft the glue has become, and it's just really a case of just being slow and just keep on working at it. So I mean, this looks like it's happened pretty quickly, but it took probably about half an hour. And then Ralph and Sarah came over for a bit of moral support and some coffees, which is always nice.
So we've got the fretboard up now. Now what I'm going to do is measure how deep I can drill. So I reckon somewhere between 50 to 55 mil. Obviously we don't want to drill through the back of the guitar. That would be really bad. Basically aim for the back of the dovetail, which should be around about there. 2 holes there as well. So we've got our 2 heat sticks in there, 4 holes, which I'm the front and the back of the dovetail, which I'm just putting a very small amount of water just to help soften any of the glue. When I went through these 2 holes here, I felt the back of the dovetail, so I know I was in the right place. It's been about 20 minutes now, and we're starting to get some movement in there. The body is now moving quite a lot left to right. It's just a case of manipulating it off. and not rushing. Okay, so that was fun, wasn't it? For a second there, I was like, how is this even not coming apart? Because I was there for about an hour. But there we are. It is off. So we're going to let this dry off over the weekend now. When I come in on the next week, we'll start fixing the body and then get it back together and do some finish repairs. But that's gone really nicely. You can see the crack between the back and the block. So with this palette knife, I'm basically just scrubbing the glue as much as I can off, and then I'm just gonna basically tape up everywhere that I don't want glue, and then just cane a bunch of tight bond in there, I think, and then just clamp it down. It's the morning after, and we're going to see how this glue up went on. Right, so we're now at the stage of getting this neck back onto the body, and what I've got to do is clean this dovetail up. So let's have a look. We've got some residue from the old glue, and also here, this is basically tear out from when the neck came away. So what I want to start by doing is just taking away all of this and then cleaning up anything which may stop me from seeing the joint together, because what I need to do is I basically need to get the joint together as it is, and then test the angle and work out what angle we need to actually set this at. I've got the neck now on the body, just dry clamped up. Okay, I've done a few adjustments with the dovetail and the joint itself, cleaned up all the glue. Now, what I'm basically treating this like is a bit like setting the neck on an acoustic guitar. You kind of want to basically have the straight edge just above the bridge, and then have the saddle sit in, you know, around about sort of 3-4 mil higher than the wooden bridge. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm treating this, because obviously the bridge is and the saddle are the same thing. So what I'm doing is basically running my straight edge. I've set the bridge to a point where there's adjustment on it. So there is adjustment in this bridge already. So if I wanted to bring the action down or bring it up, I've got a good amount of adjustment in there. I'm sitting that on the body. The joint is set where I want it to be, okay? And then I'm running that along, and basically at the minute we've got about 3 mil where this neck now is, with a few adjustments. This is sitting actually, I think, where it wants to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is essentially chalk this and then wiggle this around. And then basically this is showing me where the actual joint is touching, where it isn't. So I need to take a little bit off of here and on the shoulders to pull the neck backwards, because we want the action to go up a little bit. And then, so with my chisel, I'm going to take a little bit off of that and then just very slightly, it's basically scoring along here, tipping the angle of the neck, and then basically we'll just put some shims essentially on the dovetail to tighten that up, because there's a bit of movement in there which you want to try and remove. Okay, so the fretboard extension, I've glued some veneer on, and it's at this end, well, it's all over at the minute, but feeler gauges, I measured the gap basically of how much the neck is tilted up at this end, and made sure it's straight. The veneer has been glued up to that thickness. So what I'm going to do is now neaten up all the edges, and then with a block plane and sandpaper, re-angle this to the new angle of the neck, and then we will glue it up. So you can now see the neck has gone into place, there's no gap there, and it's tapering out really nicely. Okay, so now all to do is just do a bit of touch up, and then we're gluing this together. So we've got some hide glue, which has been warming for a while.
Do they do glue jackets?
Yeah, this is my little glue jacket over here. Right, let's glue this on.
This is my good friend Casper. You've probably seen him play my guitars. Casper is an unbelievable guitarist, and yeah, you should check out his music. He's got a band called the Swamp Dogs, and also goes out on his own doing gigs every night of the week. So yeah, really great guy, and he came over to give me a hand. Well, really, he came over to play some guitar, I think, but got sucked into doing some work for me.
Those. Plastic up. Okay, can you just poke that? No, the other way around. To the radius. No. Just hold that there. Thank you. Spot. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll make a luthier of you one day. Just hold that. Now the neck is glued on, all I've got left to do is just a little bit of touch up. So we're just going to run a little bit of lacquer. One of the things I always think of when I'm doing this sort of job is that scene from Toy Story 2 where Woody's getting repaired by the toy restorer, and I think low key that image has always kind of stuck with me. I always really enjoyed that scene where he's like opening up the box of all his brushes and everything, getting Woody all kind of fixed up again. I think that's kind of what I think of myself when I'm repairing guitars.
Why don't you just write Andy on the back of the guitar?
Yeah, I know, I could do. Okay, so we are pretty much at the end of this repair now. So the neck's obviously back on. I, off camera, put the frets back in. I'm just going to do a fret dress, which I'll film. These are the original frets, so they've gone back in pretty much as flat as they can, but they just need ironing out a little bit and just taking off the edges a little bit, because when you put in frets back in, they never go back exactly in the same place. So we're just going to tidy that up. The repair has gone really quite nice and smooth. There's pretty much no signs of the repair being done, which I'm really happy with. We're going to fret dress this and then get some strings on it. I'll put all the hardware back on. Should be done. So yeah, last part of the repair now. For those who might be interested, this is polyurethane tape. I've recently moved over to it and it's such a game changer. It's so much stronger than like normal masking tape, and you can just work at it and it just doesn't split, and it's really low tack as well, but also sticky enough so it doesn't just come off. Yeah, can't recommend this stuff enough. And then I'm using a Crimson Guitar, a crowning file, fret dressing file, just a slightly finer grit. Anyway, so these are the frets just before the final grits and polishing. There you go, post polishing. Okay, we've now got the strings on, and first thing I do is I've got the strings roughly to pitch, and I will get the string height roughly where I want it. We're using these new tone arch top strings, which customers provided. Actually should say Paul's provided, because I think Paul's actually gonna be quite happy to be featured in this video, because he's quite excited to see this process happening. So first things we know is where I've sat the bridge, I haven't moved it from that position, and we've got quite a low action, okay, which is good because it means that we've got room to play with, and we know we're going to go up, which is what we wanted. We didn't want to have to go down to set the action. So we know that the neck angle, we got it into a good place. Paul's a guitar player, so as every tech knows, can I have the action as low as possible without buzzing? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. So we're going to now tune this up. So first things you're going to test, is there any movement? Which there's no movement at all, which is really good, which is what we wanted, obviously. Because if there'd been movement, well, we'll be starting again. Okay, so it's now up to pitch. Now these gauges are, it feels like 11s, which actually probably perfect gauge really for this guitar. So what we need to make sure is that we get this truss rod in the right place first. Give that a tighten. We're not going that far. Yeah, this has gone really well. So yeah, we'll just finish this up, get the intonation right, and send Paul the bill. All right then, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and it was informative. Got to see a quite cool old guitar be brought back to life, and now it sounds really nice. I really do like these old guitars because there's something about the neck feel on them. Just it feels like an old friend. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this has gone. If you've enjoyed watching, please remember to like and subscribe. We've got loads more videos coming. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one.